Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the Baltimore Ravens and their dynamic rookie quarterback Lamar Jackson do battle with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of the stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to sing.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week. Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll go on the ground. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go.
Jackson to the right side and complete to Hurst. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back? Continue, just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll run it here. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Let's go. Green 39.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Pass incomplete.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
No. Check. Patriot. Set. Green 39. Green 30.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
All right, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Gone.
Here's Jackson. Steps away to his left.
But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. He tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Taken in at the 11. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he will fight his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught at the 20. The first NFL touchdown pass for the former Heisman winner Lamar Jackson as the Ravens push further out in front.
And there it is. Tally it up, folks. The first touchdown pass for Lamar Jackson as a member of the Baltimore Ravens. So many people focused on his legs coming into the league, and he'll score plenty of touchdowns that way. But being able to throw it into the end zone, that's a special feeling, and he's a guy who will do that often in the league.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Let's go, guys.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And they'll go ground game here for the tailback. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Leopard! All right, here we go. 319! 319!
And they'll run it here. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
They were not fooling around. It felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Now Jackson on second down. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh.
Let's go, guys.
This is brought in at the 21. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second. A touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter.
Here we go now.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight.
Let's go, guys.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And that pickup up in there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And they'll run it here. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From the gun on third down, Jackson. That's the tight end, Hurst, with it. So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2.
Set. Blue 90.
And with a play clock at 3, we're going to get a timeout called from the sideline as they'll burn the first of their allotted 3. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. After the interception, here's Jackson. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. So tried to throw.
Check. Patriot. Let's go. Blue 90.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Patriot. All right, here we go. 319. 319.
A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Ravens, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town.